Alex Pereira is the new light heavyweight champion. Believe it or not, he dropped Jiri Prochazka last night, and we were wrong on the final three predictions. It was one of those nights. Let's get into it. Stay tuned.
You're watching the Community MMA.
What up? This is your boy Chris Cross checking in. This is the Community MMA, aka the TCMMA podcast. And last night we went live for the big three, and it was rough to watch because we were wrong on all three of the final fights. And this hasn't happened in a long time. Usually our strength is in the pay-per-view final three. We call it the big three. And last night it didn't go our way, so it shook up the do list. It ended our winning night as far as predictions. We were 6-3 going into the final three. Ended up 6-1 with the one draw. So we're going to get into those three big fights. And first and foremost, the most important, Alex Pereira versus Jiri Prochazka. And a lot of question marks coming into this fight as far as would Jiri be back to full strength, right? He was out for like a year. Had to relinquish the belt. Jamal Hill won it. Then he had to relinquish it, and now Jiri's back. And you're wondering, will he be back in top form? And even if he is, could Alex Pereira still get the job done? Here's how it went down last night. Jiri starting to switch stances once again. And he lands a leg kick on Pereira. Pereira lands one back right away. It's like a chess match. Oh, big right by Jiri. Here he comes. Pereira's backing off. Oh! Jiri takes a left. Oh, no. Come on, Jiri. Oh, Jiri's in trouble. And that's it. They give it to Alex Pereira. I don't know that the fight should have been stopped. And Jiri doesn't look happy about it, but he's not arguing too much. And Pereira's on top of the coach's shoulders. He is the new light heavyweight champion. 2 belts. And that happened fast. I mean, like Pereira does in the past, he started landing some elbows with Jiri's head down. And eventually Jiri drops to a knee and the ref says that's it. And it's like, dude, come on. I mean, I got to see the replay. It just seemed like too quick of a stoppage, man. Yep, and Jiri's congratulating Pereira, but he's still stunned. Not stunned like from the finish, just stunned that it's over. Okay, so Jiri lands a big right. He's coming in. He looks strong here. Boom. Lands another big right. Okay, now Jiri takes a right. Takes a left. That dropped him. Okay, now he's going in for the takedown. And you're starting to see Alex Pereira start to drive the elbow. Why did they stop the fight, bro? Terrible, man. I mean, yeah, Jiri dropped the one knee, but then he's going in for the takedown, and Pereira's landing elbows, and then Pereira pushes him back and goes to get on top of him, but Jiri's not done by any means. Yeah. Yeah, so that was the instant reaction, and Jiri ended the hype by saying, or the controversy by saying it was a good stoppage. You know, at the time, it looked like you could let this thing go for a minute, right? It's a championship fight. Let Jiri continue, and if it goes another 3 to 5 seconds and Jiri's not responding, then so be it. I mean, the fight was stopped. Jiri rolled right out of it and got right back to his feet. And it's just, you know, you don't want controversy in title fights like this. But at the same time, you know, Jiri did the right thing and said it was over. So, you know, it ends the controversy or the hype surrounding the stoppage, and Alex Pereira is the new light heavyweight champion, and that's 2 belts for him now, right? He doesn't hold the middleweight anymore, but he still captured the middleweight, and now he captured the light heavyweight. And, you know, just an amazing night. He's a 2-belt champion, winning a 2nd belt. And Pereira is for real. And we'll look at the do list rankings in a moment as we get to these other couple fights, but you got to give it to Alex Pereira. He's not one of my favorite fighters by any means, but the guy's 7 fights into his UFC career, and he's already won 2 belts. Something I thought that Hamza would do. Alex Pereira has done very quickly. And, you know, you got to give it to the guy. Enough said. Now in the co-main, another complete surprise in this one. Tom Aspinall versus Sergey Pavlovich. I said it would be over in a round in the first round, and it was, but it didn't go the way I thought it would go. Here's how it went down. And this would be the fight. If Aspinall can win, will change everything for him. I just don't see it happening. I got Pavlovich winning this fight. Pavlovich with a big left and right. He misses. But nonetheless, someone's going down in this first round. Please believe it. Ooh, a big left and right. Oh, Pavlovich goes down. Aspinall's pounding away, and that's it. That's it. Tom Aspinall is the interim heavyweight champion. No, I read that one completely wrong. Oh my goodness. Well, I wasn't totally wrong. I said it'd be a first round KO. Michael Bisping going crazy in the stands. Unbelievable. Tom Aspinall is crying. And he should be, man. This is a big moment for him. I mean, this is the fight that a lot of people believed he couldn't win. Just because of what Sergey Pavlovich has done. He's running through people. And when you see Tom Aspinall in this fight, this guy is huge, bro. Yeah, so Tom Aspinall getting the interim heavyweight title. What does that mean for John Jones? He's still fighting Stipe, but what do they do with Tom Aspinall? So you got a lot of those questions in the post-fight press conference. And we'll just have to wait and see. But Aspinall did it. Surprised everyone. And we released a short this morning, and you just see the pandemonium at Madison Square Garden. People completely surprised, but loud and pumped up. And Michael Bisping is Tom Aspinall's biggest supporter. Make no mistake about it. Of course, they had a camera right on him. And when you hear the noise inside Madison Square Garden when Aspinall finished him, because that was, it wasn't like the Pereira fight. I mean, this was a real stoppage. They let it go for a second, and Pavlovich was done. And Aspinall saying he had back problems going into the fight, took the fight on short notice, and saying, you don't win the title, in so many words, by sitting at home. You got to go in there and fight. And he took it, and he went in there and beat one of the best fighters in the heavyweight division. Please believe it, because Pavlovich is for real. And Tom Aspinall captured the interim title. And, he's lying in wait now for John Jones or Stipe Miocic. We'll have to see how that plays out. And then if Stipe beats John Jones, you better believe he's getting a rematch. So you have that. Then you had Jessica Andrade versus Mackenzie Dern. Third fight of the night, well, not third fight, but final three before the co-main and main. And I thought Dern would get the victory despite the numbers. It didn't turn out that way. And no American in this fight. Both Americans going down early on. Trump in attendance. He walked in. Crowd's been going crazy, chanting USA. You had two big USA fighters. Americans in the first two fights. They both got dropped in a minute, though. Or not in a minute, but in the first round. And Andrade continues to walk down Dern, but Dern does land some big shots from time to time. There's a leg kick by Andrade. 19-5 now. Oh, big left by Andrade. Dern goes down. And she's on her butt, and Andrade says, gets up. Get up. Halfway through round two, and Mackenzie Dern taking some shots right now. Yeah, she is flailing. Oh, boy. Oh, come on, Dern. Andrade is tough, man. 2:15 left, round two. Nearly a spinning back fist. And it seems to me like Dern's in trouble, but she lands a big right. Now a left and a right. Oh, Dern goes down. I missed it. Gosh. And Andrade won't take it. She says, get up. And Dern's standing. But for how long? And Andrade coming forward. Dern's in trouble. Takes a left, another left. And Dern goes down. And that's it. Jessica Andrade beats the chest. And she's going to jump on top of the octagon. And wave to all the big names in attendance. Trump. And a whole bunch of others. I mean, it's crazy. New York City, Madison Square Garden. Jessica Andrade gets the KO in a minute and 44 seconds into round two. And she's excited. Make no mistake about it. As she sits on top of the octagon. Whew. Wrong on that one. So it's been tough. Yeah, and that's the way it went down in the final 3 fights. We were wrong on each of the final 3. Kind of surprising. It doesn't usually happen that way. If anything, we get the final 3 right. Or at least 2 out of 3. But last night, everything went against us. And Jessica Andrade did her thing. Pavlovich fell to Aspinall. Pereira surprised everybody. Was Jiri 100%? Who knows? But the bottom line is those 3 won. And it ruined the picks for us last night because we had a nice winning, not a winning streak, but we were well ahead in wins and losses going into the final 3. And then you're thinking, we might get these final 3 because we have in the past. This is the way it turned out last night. So you see, if you look at the prelims compared to the main card, it's the complete opposite. In the prelims, we go 5-1. And in the main card, we went 1-4. If you count Alessandro Costa, we went 1-5 in the final 6 fights. So completely a flip-flop. We ended up being 6-1 on the night. We lost the main event, so we're 26-12. And then 291, 164-6 overall. We're not really worried about the overall now because we have a nice, 120 plus wins over losses. So we got a nice cushion. That's not going to be affected regardless of what happens throughout the rest of the year. But a complete surprise last night when we lost the final 3 fights. And it happens. When you're making predictions, it happens. Make no mistake about it. Now, another thing that was affected last night, we had to really consider this, was the dude list, right? The dude list was completely affected last night. And you see there, top 10, Hamza still 1, John Jones still 2, Islam still 3. I don't think you can argue those 3. I mean, you can argue Hamza, but, we've been telling you about him for years, so we're not going to settle down on that right now. But we had to put Alex Pereira 4, even though he's not one of my favorite fighters. Charles Oliveira is still 5 until he gets the rematch with Makhachev. We're not going to move him down because anything is possible. Volkanovski's still 6. He's facing Ilia Topuria. Sean O'Malley will fight Marlon Vera. He's 7. And then 8 versus 10. We'd like to have Colby in the top 5, but he's going to have to win that fight. And we got him winning 8 versus 10 with Leon Edwards. And then if you get into the top 20, we really got to consider Tom Aspinall in this thing as well. We don't have him in there right now, but he should be. Duplessis and Strickland 14 and 15. Someone will jump into the top 10 with a win there. And then hopefully Hamza gets in the mix. But you still got Jamal Hill and Jiri 11 and 12. And I think the light heavyweight has the most in the top 12. Ikram Maliskarov still in there. You got Sterling still in there. Dvalishvili. Sky's the limit for him. Max Holloway still in there. You got he beats everyone but Volkanovski, and then Ian Gary sneaking in at 20, and he's fighting soon. I think in the next pay-per-view event, if I'm not mistaken. So, that's the way the dude list looks right now. And the dude list was definitely shook up last night. I mean, there's just no other way to say it. The dude list was completely shook up. And again, although Pereira's not one of my favorites, we still got to put him in there out of respect. He just replaced Jiri at number 4. He has to. I mean, the guy's a 2-belt champion. Doesn't hold the middleweight, but still has won 2 belts, so you got to put him in there. Now, as we jump into the Q&A, Kenneth Bruner saying Hamza is going to get cheated again if Strickland loses. They're going to bring back Izzy to fight DDP if DDP wins. If you're a Hamza fan, you must be a Strickland fan. Yeah, and I like Duplessis to win the fight, but I completely understand what Kenneth Bruner is saying. And hopefully Izzy goes to light heavyweight because if you got Pereira saying he wants to fight, I think the UFC just gives him that title fight. Why not? You got Jamal Hill on hold. You got Jiri just lost. He needs another fight. So I think Izzy can go right to the title, even though they're saying he needs to do 1 fight first. I don't think so. It's too big of a fight. Homework saying Hamza Chimaev is the most unluckiest fighter in the UFC. Yeah, especially when you see what Pereira has done. And the same thing could have happened with Hamza if they give him the correct fights, but they haven't. And he's had some unlucky things too with, a few years back, he had to miss a year and a half, and then he missed a year after the Kevin Holland fight and the Gilbert Burns fight, so he's just on hold. What are you going to do? Al Topo, UFC promises don't matter. You're only as good as your last fight. Yeah, it's true. It's replay bros saying that's sad. Hamza isn't fighting for the middleweight title. Bo Jackson. This is a Chimaev channel more than a prediction channel. No, but the Hamza thing is all about the prediction, right? He's number one on the do list because I'm taking him over everybody. Everything ties back to the predictions. So I would argue that this is a prediction channel first and foremost. And, with the predictions, you're getting previews of the fight, how guys stack up with one another, the tail of the tape, all that stuff. At JXST Crank says, fight definitely should have been stopped, bro. Was about to get finished for 4 minutes. So you have some people saying, yeah, the fight should have been stopped. I hear you, the master, good fight, but anticlimactic stoppage. Would love to see a rematch. Yeah, I just don't think Jiri's going to get it right now. Let him have another fight and get a year to recover. Blow Miala, something like that, says, I jumped with you early back in the days on the Hamza train. You were right. He is absolutely smashing everybody. Yeah, and people will argue that and say, oh, he barely beat this guy, barely beat that guy. But dude's winning, man, against the best in the world. Please believe it. Vibe saying Tapuri has better boxing and more power on top of that. He's fast and technical as well. Volk just got KO'd by Islam and is probably coming back too soon. And that's a great point. Is this too soon for Volkanovski? So you're looking at, February? Maybe not. You still got, we just had 295, so you got 3 solid months before that fight happens. So, we'll see. But plenty of time to prepare. And that's the way it goes down today in the Q&A. So just a great night of fighting last night, man. Very exciting. Very exciting. It just didn't go the way that we anticipated it to go. But at the end of the day, great night of fighting. Very excited to see those fights. When you hear the crowd at MSG, Madison Square Garden, it was ridiculous, man. That place was loud as can be, and that's exactly how you want it. Trump came in. They finally put him all over the TV last night. There's been other times Trump has come to the UFC and they kind of not put him on the, they didn't put him on the camera. But last night they put him on the camera at least 5 or 6 times. So, it goes to show you that the UFC probably didn't do it on purpose before, but now this time they made sure that not only was he on the camera once, but multiple times. And the crowd loved it. But guess what? When he walked in for the main card, not one American won. In fact, the first 2 got KO'd pretty quickly in the fight. And that's the way it went down. But listen, we're going to take a healthy break now. Your boy Chris Cross is exhausted and tired. Up late last night, up early this morning. Back to work tomorrow, as most of you are as well. But we appreciate you listening. For now, I hope you have a great day. And God bless, as always. Peace.